Shabbat, maybe to look up towards the sky or to look out towards the mountains or to look towards one another, to enter into the peace and quiet and serenity of the Shabbat. It's wonderful to see new friends and old friends, new faces, old faces here tonight. Later on during our services, of course, we'll be celebrating all those who have their birthdays and anniversaries in this month of February. And we'll also extend some special blessings and words of blessing to Major and Mark Cohen, who are celebrating 60 years tonight. And it's wonderful to be able to celebrate with you and your family and our community as well. So as we continue our service, as always, please be full participants in our service. We'll lift up our voices together. We'll share words of Torah together and celebrate Shabbat together. And as we enter into Shabbat on page 121, I'd like to invite Eve Edmond, who, with Cohen's direction and help, coordinated tonight's Onek Shabbat. So it's a privilege to give you the honor of lighting the Shabbos candles. Page 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
The sweet wine in the Kiddush cup reminds us of the sweetness of the Shabbat in every Shabbat. I invite you to please stand if you are able as we join together on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ava u'vratzon hilchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tefillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mitol ha'anim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Before we continue, just take a moment to reach out to those around you and wish your neighbor and friend Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our live stream is here. Shabbos. Like, you know how many times I eat there? You gotta be. I never go to Manhattan Beach, so just trying to be. Yeah. So, you know, what? We have a lunch with Jonah Pesner from the rack. We're going to Salt Creek. I don't know. Whatever. So, yeah. Got it. Oh, here you go. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. How good and pleasant it is when brothers and sisters dwell together. Hine Ma Tov, we're on page 128.
Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai, L'chuna Ranana L'Adonai, page 130.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria לצורי שנו, לקדמך ותודה. נריע, נריע לצורי שנו, בזמירות נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני.
Keep on singing the next page. So keep it going.
שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. lechadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
And on pages 138 and 139, we welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst with the poem of Lecha Dodi. We sing together verses 1, 2, and 5, and at verse 9 we stand, if we're able, and we face the door to welcome the Sabbath bride into our community.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. שם וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כמו לעינייך נגלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך ים סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
If you need the words in the back of the service handout, am I awake? Am I prepared? You'll let us know.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. יא לה לי לי לי, יא לה לי לי לי, יא la lai lai lai, ya 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 la lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'varo mari v'avi.
On page 148, before we say our prayer for the evening, I wonder if when God created heaven and earth, God could have imagined Elon Musk sending up a Tesla into orbit, piercing the firmament of the heavens. Well, like going back to the original and imagining a time that wasn't so technologically advanced, as amazing as it is. So we thank God who spoke and created all the world into being with our prayer as we join together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, ruling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. And together on page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch shekevod, shekevod malchuto, le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We're on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
We're on page 159. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracle, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. סייענו, אנו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
When we sing Hashkivenu and pray the words of our nighttime prayer, we ask God to protect us and to guard us in a way to steady us through choppy seas, through highs and lows, ups and downs of volatile weeks. We look for God's steadying hand to be with us, to protect us. So as we prepare to sing these prayers, imagine that steady hand on your head, on your shoulder, guiding you towards safety, security, and peace.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Uveros aleinu sukkah shlomecha, ושמור צאתנו ובואנו, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ושמור צאתנו Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Baruch atah continue with Vishamru, page 162. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינבש.
The Baal Shem Tov teaches, as a person begins to pray, reciting the words, Adonai tzifatai tiftach, O Lord, open my lips and let my mouth declare your praise, the presence of God comes into them. Then it is the presence herself who commands their voice. It is she who speaks the words through them. One who knows in faith that all this happens within them will be overcome with trembling and with awe. So as we prepare to enter into our time of the tefillah, time of communal prayer and personal prayer, I invite you to please stand as we continue on page 164. We'll share the first three blessings together, and afterwards please feel free to pray the words of our tradition through page 181, or simply turn inward to offer the prayers that come from the heart. Only then be seated.
Adonai svatai tiftach, Adonai svatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid Adonai svatai tiftach, Adonai svatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please pray silently.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל. בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל, המברך את עמו ישראל.
Take a moment now to offer Mishabarach LaRefuah, a prayer for healing for all of those who are in need of healing, body, mind, spirit. If you need the words, you can find them on page 371. Before we lift our voices together as one community to sing these words of healing and of prayer, if you'd like to stand for a moment to get my attention and share aloud the name or names of those whom you are praying this Shabbat. Carol, sorry.
Sue Jones, Al Davis.
Walter Marshall and Irene Tyson. Andrew Tyson.
Frida Friedman.
Tamar Davidson, Cancer Wade, Manuel Cinco, Sheila Weiss.
For all those named and those whose names we hold in our hearts, pray together.
Mishabarach Avotenu the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. Amen.
Amen.
We continue now with our Torah service, which begins on page 362. Page 362.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai vein kemasecha malchutcha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha bechol dor vador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai imloch leolam vaed Adonai oz le'amo yitein Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim et iva viltzoncha et Zion tivnei chomot Yerushalayim tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Ivecha levad batachnu Melech el ram venisa Adon olamim Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Udevar Adonai mirushalayim Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael bikdushato Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Gadol Shemo Gadol Adonai ונרוב למה שמו יחדיו לך אדוני הגדול והתפארת והנצח וההוד כי כל בשנה בשמיים ובארץ, ככל בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני המלאכה והמנעשה רוב לראש. ישראל ישראל כאור חדות כל אורה הללו אורה תורה אורה הללויה הללויה תורה אורה אורה הללויה Ora, 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 alleluia. Israel, Israel, right. Israel, Beth, ora, alleluia. Ora, 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 alleluia, alleluia, ora, 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 alleluia, ora, ora, alleluia.
Please be seated. So what I forgot to mention before the Aliyah was that tonight is the night that we honor all those who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries in the month of February. We'll call you up for an Aliyah in a moment. And tonight we're also going to add a special couple to that group, and that is for Steve and Josie, who will be making a trip to Israel, leaving this week, so we'll be blessing them as well. So this week's Torah portion is Parashat Mishpatim. You'll be able to follow along on this Torah text and translation. My sermon later on is going to be about a different verse than what's here, but I just want to point to some of this. Came up in our conversation in our Torah study yesterday, because you'll see that the verses that begin the parashah speak to this idea of when you acquire a Hebrew slave. And we look at this, and it is confusing. After all, weren't our people just freed from slavery just a couple chapters earlier in the Torah portion? And one of the lessons that we learn is that it's very difficult to try to look at, to understand the context of what the Torah was saying thousands of years ago when we look at it through our eyes today. I don't think that any one of us would look at this and say, oh, this is a good idea. When you acquire Hebrew slaves, serve for 6 years and whatnot. On the other hand, one of the lessons I always try to teach is that as abhorrent as this practice seems to be here, it was an improvement on what existed before. And so often when we study our text and when we come across difficult laws or commandments, sometimes we just need to think, what was it like in that particular time when these were written and when these were observed? How did they improve on what came before? And how do we continue to improve on what's written, and how do we understand it today? So kind of keep that in mind as Cantor Davidson chants these verses in a moment. But as I mentioned before, as is our custom, we invite all those who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, and if you happen to be going to Israel in the next week too, Ya'amdu la'alei Torah. Please, all of you, come to the bima so we can bless you and you can bless us.
Perfect night. Stand right there. Everybody wants a blessing.
Come on over to this side.
There you go. Put your glasses on. We'll wait for you. All right, good. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'chanu mikol ha'amim. V'notan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. ואלה המשפטים אשר תשים לפניכם, כי תקנה עבד עברי 6 שנים יעבוד, ובשביעית יצא לחפשי חינם. אם בגפו יבוא, בגפו יצא, אם בעל אישה הוא. ויצאה אשתו עמו, אם אדוניו ייתן לו אישה, וילדו לו בנים או בנות, האישה וילדיה תהיה לאדוניה, והוא יצא בגפו. ואם אמור יאמר העבד, אהבתי את אדוני, את אשתו ואת בניי, לא אצא חופשי. והגישו אדוניו אל האלוהים, והגישו אל הדלת, או אל המזוזה, ורצה אדוניו את אוזנו במרצע, ועבדו לעולם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Atinot almanu Torat emet.
אמת וחיי עולם אתה בתוכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen.
So if you are celebrating your birthday, birthdays first. Birthday in this month. We're going to do birthdays, Israel anniversary. So birthday. Here's come forward. Come forward, over here.
Other birthday.
Forward.
The bride and groom.
What? So here you are on this month being called to the Torah, celebrating your birthdays in this month of February. And how blessed we are to be able to share this moment with you, this moment in your lives, this moment in the life of our congregation, to celebrate the joy that you share with us and that you share with all of your loved ones. So I share with you this blessing. Mishaberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the three of you on the occasion of celebrating your birthdays this month. As you have found nourishment throughout your life up until the present time, may you continue to be protected and filled with life and happiness, and enjoy many more years of life and blessing. May all of your loved ones rejoice in you, and all of your wishes be fulfilled for good. And let us all say,
Amen.
Who here's going to Israel pretty soon?
Better get over there.
I'll
Okay, never mind. Robbie's coming over here.
Thank you.
Stay right where you are.
So Steve and Josie, it seems like you travel to Israel more often than I make it up to West LA. That's what it seems like.
Number 6.
Number 6, what? In the last, what, 2 years?
No.
Okay.
Last 18 years.
Last 18 years. But isn't this the 3rd or 4th time in the last 3 years?
Yes.
Yes. So it seems like these are
Third
very
time in the last
regular.
3 years, yes.
Indeed. And we're always grateful when you travel to Israel, when you represent our temple and our people in the Holy Land, when you bring pieces of the Holy Land back here. In fact, was this last year? Yeah, it was like, I think the last year when Steve and Josie went, they had to take the talit that we had purchased in Israel the previous trip for Ezra, and there was a mistake on it, and they shepherded this talit back to Tzfat. It was great. So if anyone needs anything taken back to Israel or brought back, talk to Steve and Josie.
Got a free talit bag out of it.
There you go, excellent. Good. But as you prepare to embark on yet this next trip to be with family and friends and to learn and to experience and to connect to our beloved homeland, I offer you this blessing. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless you, Steve and Josie, who are going to the land of Israel. May you journey there in peace and reach your destination in the land of Zion safely. And may you return safely to us. May you find blessing and success in all that you undertake together with all Israel, all of Israel's people. And may you find inspiration and renewal in our people and in our land. And let us all say,
Amen.
Siyah Tova. All right.
Let's get the bread and green.
Major and Mark.
I want to take the soup.
I think that we have a blessing for an anniversary here somewhere. 60 years. 60 years you celebrate tonight, on this very night. Your family, friends, your community. And how blessed are we to have you in our midst? How blessed are we that you are not traveling somewhere around the world this week? Or you just came back from last night. From where this time? Florida, exactly. You know? Like I said, you spend more time on airplanes than I spend in the car going to West LA. And how fortunate we are to have such a remarkable couple in our community. It's a couple who travels the world sharing an extraordinary story that we've all come to know and love and hear. And I think that for our students who are here from Temple Israel in Long Beach, we're going to have to arrange for Marta to come to you and share her extraordinary story. She was a spy for the French resistance in World War II. What, there you go, see? See, people here don't know that. But more importantly, after that experience, here you are, having met Major and having come together to build a life here, raise a family, and be such an integral part of our community. And we are so blessed that we can celebrate with you today. And we offer you this blessing. Yishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless you, Mart and Major. We've come today into this holy house to offer thanks for all the kindness, God, you have done for them throughout their lives. From the day they celebrated the union of their hearts up unto the present day, 60 years since they entered into a covenant of love. God, as they have merited to celebrate today, so may they enjoy a length of days and to a ripe and full old age. That's what it said, until a ripe and full old age. You have much more time with us. May you enjoy blessing and success in all they undertake together with all Israel. And let us all say,
Amen.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov indeed.
We have 50 years this year.
Wow.
No one go anywhere quite soon. I'm going to invite you to please stand if you are able as I lift the Torah. You can see the verses that we just chanted just a few moments ago, page 370.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה וזאת וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה, לבני בני ישראל, לבני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה.
Page 374. Hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Kinis Gav, Shemo Livado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. On the next page, we read and pray responsively, joining together for the last two lines. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace.
Its higher teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person.
That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties. But the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads to them all.
Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do.
Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tom feha eushar derafeha darfei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
You can be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Last night, I read a disturbing article published by Reuters, which provided a detailed, graphic, and verified account of a massacre of 10 Rohingya men in a remote village in the Rakhine state of Myanmar. Now, if you're not aware of what's happening in Myanmar, then I strongly suggest that you investigate the world's most current genocide. Myanmar's military have killed more than 10,000 Rohingya,
members of a Muslim minority group who live in Buddhist-majority Myanmar, and this crisis has created several 100,000 refugees. The 10 men were featured in a photograph shortly before they were executed. Their eyes revealed many emotions: fear, steely determination, resignation, confusion. Some looked directly into the camera lens, others turned away. Behind them, we would discover later in the article, their killers ambled around, one with his gun slung loosely across his shoulder, the other looking defiantly into the camera. This image of 10 men about to be massacred captured my attention. Even more was the interactive feature within this online article. When you place the cursor over the face of one of the men, a short biography of him popped up. I learned that one of these victims was a farmer. Another was the first in his family to obtain a higher education. Another was a scholar. We knew their names, their ages, if they were married or were fathers or brothers. All were someone's son. Yesterday, I had a cursory understanding of the Rohingya genocide that continues to unfold. I was troubled by the senseless violence, the killings, rape, and torture, intentional starvation, the burning of villages that I had read about. However, I was not particularly moved to act or even explore more until a new friend sent me this article. This friend, his name is Muhammad Khan. He's a leader at the King Fahd Mosque in Culver City. Our mutual friend, Howard Euler, arranged our meeting so that we could begin to develop a relationship and perhaps begin to do some work together as individuals and as a community. One of Muhammad's priorities is responding to the humanitarian crisis of the Rohingya. He is mobilizing his American Muslim community to act. He'd like our community to mobilize as well. And we are beginning to explore ways that we can work together to educate and advocate on behalf of these forgotten people. The plight of the Rohingya weigh heavily on me, especially in the wake of our visit 2 weeks ago by our friend Sotheni, the Rwandan minister who saved more than 100 lives during the Rwandan genocide 24 years ago. The world stood idly by then, just as we seem to be doing now. We haven't done much better in Darfur, the Congo, or with the Yazidis, who were cruelly starved and massacred by ISIS forces a few summers ago. It can be hard for us, American Jews living in comfort, freedom, and peace, to empathize with the people who are so different from us, culturally, religiously, ethnically. There are so many barriers that separate us from them. However, because empathy is a natural biological feature of humankind, most people, once they look at these images and into the eyes of a person about to die, were able to identify with the suffering of others. For the past few months, our Torah study group that meets on Thursdays has been using the weekly Divrei Torah written by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs as our guiding commentary. This year, Sachs is connecting what he describes as life-changing ideas that can be discovered in each Torah portion. And this week, he taught us about the power of empathy. And while I try to avoid incorporating yesterday's Torah study into my Friday night sermons, yesterday's lesson from Sachs, my meeting with Muhammad, and my regular recitation of a powerful verse from this week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, has inspired and guided my thinking all this week and towards this Shabbat. What is the power of empathy? According to Sachs, it is seeing the world through someone else's eyes, entering into their feelings, and acting in such a way as to let them know that they are understood, that they are heard, that they matter. Or, as Adam Smith, the father of economics, once suggested, empathy is changing places in fancy with the sufferer. Changing places in fancy with the sufferer. The power of empathy is introduced in this week's portion. It's a verse that I hope is familiar to you. After all, it appears 36 times in the Torah. You shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the heart of the stranger. You were strangers in the land of Egypt. 36 times. As Sachs suggests, it's easy to love your neighbor as yourself. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. It's very hard indeed to love or even feel empathy for a stranger. Think about your responses to the suffering of others, and be honest with yourself. When you read of the suffering of a Jew, how does that make you feel? When you read of Jews being attacked, beaten, and even killed in Europe, what is your emotional response? When you learned of the desecration of Jewish cemeteries in St. Louis and Philadelphia a year ago, what emotions and feelings coursed through you? We feel this way because we love our neighbors as ourselves. And as Edmund Flegg has powerfully suggested, what makes us Jews is that when one Jew suffers, we all suffer. That said, how did you respond emotionally to the arson attack on a mosque in Victoria, Texas last year, or an undocumented immigrant father being arrested in front of his children and deported, or a Palestinian being beaten by an Israeli settler? I imagine our responses are different. That is because once we move away from our inner circle, empathy can be more difficult to cultivate. When we look into the eyes of a stranger, we see just that, a stranger, not a brother. Franz de Waal, a noted primatologist who has written extensively about empathy, puts it this way: We've evolved to hate our enemies, to ignore people we barely know, and to distrust anyone who doesn't look like us. Even if we are largely cooperative within our communities, we become almost a different animal in our treatment of strangers. Or as Sachs summarizes, fear of the one not like us is capable of disabling the empathy response, which is why the religious response to suffering is to use it to enter into the mindset of others who suffer. And that is why the Jewish response is often to come to the aid of those who are not like us once we are able to empathize with them. The empathy response is what propelled many Jews to join in the civil rights movement in the 1960s, and what brings many Jews into justice work today, especially on behalf of communities that are very different from ours. 2 years ago, a group of Reformed Jews met with a member of the California State Assembly to discuss legislation that would provide rights and protections for immigrants, documented and undocumented. The assembly member couldn't understand why a group of white, affluent, suburban Jews would trek to Sacramento to talk about immigration and rights for the undocumented. Once this group invoked the empathy clause of the Jewish people to remember and love the stranger, for we were strangers in the land of Egypt. Once these Jews, this delegation, invoked that phrase, the assembly member better understood and appreciated our efforts. The Torah commands us to protect and defend the widow and the orphan, and to not mistreat the stranger. Rabbi Shai Held teaches, taken together, these laws point to the heart of the Torah's vision. God wants to create a society in which the weak and defenseless are protected rather than exploited, loved rather than degraded. Is this society real for us today, or does it remain aspirational? Many areas inside and outside of Jewish life require an abundance of empathy. The Rohingya genocide is one. The plight of 1,500 African refugees in Israel who remain locked up in a detention center outside of Tel Aviv, some going on for 5 years. and in some cases, they're in the process of being deported from Israel. This is another case that requires our empathy. So do the 800,000 dreamers whose status in this country is precarious, and the homeless men and women who encamp by the post office in downtown San Pedro. We have no problem rallying around our own, and we should, and we do. It's harder when the person is the other. Rabbi Held reminds us powerfully, to be a religious person is in part to follow God's example, to listen even when others will not, and to see when others look away. My hope and prayer is that we can continue to cultivate the empathy gene. Rather than become inured to the tremendous suffering around us, find ways to open the mind and the heart, to let compassion and love flow in. Educate yourself. Become aware. Find the causes for which you will advocate and respond. Yes, there is no way that we can give 100% to every example of suffering. However, we can be shaken and moved into action. Perhaps someone like Muhammad Khan will come into our lives and inspire some response for an issue that we only knew a little bit about before. Perhaps you'll encounter a family affected by the crisis in our nation's broken immigration policy. Maybe you will have a real conversation with a person who's homeless. Only when we see that person less as other and more as brother, only then our love and empathy will, God willing, prevail. Amen.
I can just do it. I'll just do it.
I buried it.
That's all right.
Well, I'll find it. I got it here somewhere. Do you have it?
They want to hear me off the cuff anyway.
No, they don't.
I guess they do. All right. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Eric Imlay. It's my pleasure to represent the board of directors this evening. And some rabbi has buried my speech somewhere, so. Okay.
I'm not responsible for your
Let's just jump in and do it. Cantor Davidson. First of all, welcome to the youth of Temple Israel in Long Beach. Do you guys have a mascot? Roaring, not dirtbags. I'm not doing the dirtbags thing. The baseball team, it's an inside joke with that.
Long Beach, okay.
It's yeah, they're the Long Beach baseball. Never mind. All right. Purim is going to be on February 24th, Saturday night. There'll be a family carnival, adult cocktails at 4, 5:30 Purim spiel, RSVP Tishoni in the finance office. There are going to be reserved tables, which will have wine, compliments of the Briskin family. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Before, yeah. Don't want to move it. It doesn't travel well. Taos lecture, lunch and learn with Rabbi Ed Feinstein. It's going to be Wednesday, February 14th at 11:45 a.m. Do not cancel Valentine's Day plans for this event. Okay. Or at least that's maybe a note my wife wrote to me. Okay. It's lunch. Yeah, it's lunch.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. Some of our wives are working that night. Okay, and finally, this Monday at 11 a.m. at Panera Bread is Pastries with the Presidents. 10 a.m., thank you, Marty. It's been fun. Marty's been to a couple. They're a good time, right, Marty? Yeah, okay. Free pastries. We're going to take you to pastries. We love to talk. We love to communicate. Anytime you see Gail and I around the temple, please come and talk to us. Any questions you have about anything, we love to talk. We've not had a pastries with the president's end with any questions. And dessert soon, I promise. Shabbat shalom.
And again, thank you to Major and Mark for sponsoring tonight's Oneg Shabbat, and to Eve for helping to get everything ready. We know we are definitely in for a treat. I hope that you have come hungry. It's not just fruit and pastries. So thank you.
Yes.
What's that?
And please go and join
Oh,
Frankie
Frankie- oh.
Victor in the gift shop.
Oh, no, no.
yes.
And Hamantashen. Hamantashen gift shop. Okay.
Yes.
Great. I think absolutely right. So,
Yes.
Mart's book called Behind Enemy Lines. It's her remarkable story of courage and bravery, resilience, and it's an amazing book. So you can get it in the gift shop. And is somebody selling Hamantashen tonight? Yes, Linda.
You betcha.
Okay. So it's Linda and Sheila will be selling Hamantashen. All kinds of stuff happening tonight. Just another
Carol?
piece there.
Carol had her hand.
Oh yes, Carol. Yes.
I just
Oh.
wanted to remind people that tomorrow Sisterhood is having a circle of service.
Sunday. Sunday. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It'll be tomorrow.
Kathy Mayer, who has a golden lifeline.
Excellent. So Kathy Mayer, honor with the Golden Lifeline from our Sisterhood and Women of Reformed and the Yes Fund.
Yes, that means that she has contributed the amount of money over a period of time to get the golden pin.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful. What a great way to honor Kathy. That will be Sunday. And talk to Carol if you want to attend. Hopefully there's still some spaces available, I hope. And then just lastly, we're going to be participating with our other churches in the community for hosting Family Promise down at the San Pedro United Methodist Church. We still need a few volunteers to either help serve meals, be with our families, and especially those who want to be overnight, want to provide some of the overnight coverage at the church. It's going to be on the 25th and 26th of February.
And Rabbi, we're collecting items for our troops. Is that correct? Or
yes. Oh, thank you.
Until the 23rd.
Yeah. So it's a very new social action project. This just came by. See, if you want to do it, just let me know. Allison Brandt is coordinating a project where we are collecting items for, it's called Packages for Patriots. We're doing this in conjunction with an organization that runs out of the Valley and with the St. Francis Episcopal Church here in PV Estates. I forget, there's a whole list of things that we are collecting. I'm not sure if it's up and out already.
It's available in the rack.
Okay, it's available. Perfect.
Of flyers.
So you can get the flyers. Individual items. The items are going to be put into care packages and sent to our troops who are serving, who are deployed, and who are serving overseas. So I think we covered everything that was in here and that wasn't in here.
Think so.
Anything else that anyone wants to share? We good? Okay, anyone hungry yet? Okay. Our concluding prayers begin with Aleinu on page 586. Please stand if you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו גילויי הרצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You can be seated. Page 594. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. a fearful thing to love, hope, dream to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love a holy thing, to love what death has touched. If you are observing the recent death of a loved one, or the anniversary of that person's death, when I recite the person's name, please stand and remain standing until all the names have been shared. Then together we will stand as one community to recite Kaddish at home, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. We're observing the first 7 days of mourning for Edward Billen. And we continue to observe Shaloshim, the first 30 days of remembrance for Vivian Cohn-Gazowski. And we remember those who died at this season in years past, whose Yortzeit fell this week, and whom we remember by name tonight. Elizabeth Abramowitz, Richard Blatt, Floyd Davis, Sarah Feldner, Anna Ferdman, Donald Fisher, Jim Frankel, Ida Garber, Fanny Goldstein, Morris Grossman, Clara Hirschman, Rosie Hoffnung, Eugene Jonas, Isaac Kaplan, Alvin Kay, Leah Rachel Kay, Gloria Kornhauser, Barbara Krasnoff, Johnny Lorenzo, Anna Lewis, Joyce Marcus, Pearl Mast, Abraham Mell, Harvey M. Mora, Esperanza Pagadwan, John Proud, Gerard Rode, Bernard Rosenthal, Warren Rosen, Jack Rowe, Betty Rubenfeld, Anna Schwartz, Sarah Spector, Esther Taus, Joseph Usitin, Cecile Visoni, and Helen Weiss. If I neglected to share the name of someone you are remembering this week, please stand and get my attention and share the name aloud. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of a righteous person and all of our righteous people be for a blessing. We join together, please stand, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye echon v'yom echon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'alam ulamei almaya. Yit barach v'yit tabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran berma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. Amen.
Shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu. Bimromav, say shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu. Shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Join in the middle and say Motzi.
before we go for Oneg Shabbat, come in, touch the challah, or touch them with touching the challah, so we can all be connected. All right. We got our Andy kids all set. Come on, guys. You guys gonna come down here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Eric, I found it. It's like walking a tightrope without a net. Eric, for me it's like walking someone on a tightrope without a net.
I just like to jump off the net.
Well, you're a little safer and more predictable than others. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Rick. No.
Rob?